All right. We'll officially call the meeting to order. Is the meeting been properly posted and the roll and taken?
Yes.
All right, thank you. Item number 2 is 2.1 minutes of the November 1st, 2021 meeting. There's no additions or corrections. I entertain a motion to approve.
So moved.
Second.
There's a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Seeing and hearing none, all those in favor of the motion signify by stating aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion passes. Item number 3, under communications, 3.1 is the upcoming federally required updates to our floodplain regulations and our zoning code. Mark, we have the agenda report. You want to start us on?
It's just to let the commission know that we will be having this upcoming item, most likely January meeting or possibly February, to look at changes to the zoning code regarding the federal and state updates to the floodplain standards. At this time, there's no action. It will be an upcoming item.
Great. Thank you, Mark. Item number 4, public hearing review possible recommendation, Bravo Builders, Robert Edwards for Slumberland Furniture 4.1 is a public hearing on a request to consider a conditional use permit at 1450 East Geneva Street, located in the Business Regional BR zoning district with an indoor sales or service land use to allow for the sales of furniture. At this time, I'd go ahead and open the public hearing. Light sits down.
Yeah, Mr. Mayor, so Robert did tell me he was gonna show up tonight. I don't see him here yet, so I can keep going if you want. This is kind of a slam dunk thing, but if you wanted to have someone here, he is not here at this moment. But basically, this is gonna be the Slumberland that's going into the old Shopco building. Everything was approved by staff from parking, everything met the zoning. They are waiting to, well, they have state approved, they have plans into the state right now, they're waiting to be approved. And I believe their sprinkler plans were sent in too. So I don't know if you care, sometimes I know that it's a big deal if people are here or not, so.
Right.
I can answer some of those questions because this is pretty much kind of, the only reason this is in here is because in our business regional district, it's a requirement for basically nothing's permitted by right, so.
Sounds good. Is there any questions for T?
For T, I know in this case, like I said, it's probably a slam dunk.
Right.
Is it appropriate for the planning commission to be reviewing this before the state plans come back?
Yeah, so this is just from the zoning standpoint of it. So most of the time, with most of the approvals that you guys do from a zoning standpoint is done before the state approved plans are done. Basically, from your standpoint, you guys would maybe see elevations from the outside just to see how it's going to look. But the state approved plans that I'm waiting to get back from them has to do with egress, sprinkler heads, and all that type of stuff. But I would say that 90% of the time, they want to, some of the places want to get your guys' approval before they spend all the time and money with doing that. So yeah, we definitely, it's normal for you guys to approve something before we have state approved plans.
Presumably that doesn't hold true if the issue, or when the issue gets to the council level, that all of the I's and T's take care of.
Yeah, so I mean, like I said, it's more of a, so the conditional use is a zoning standpoint. So the zoning and like the building part of it is actually two separate things. So if this was to go to the common council and get approved by the common council, it's the zoning that's getting approved. They're not saying that the building's approved to, you know, let's say store furniture in it from like floor to ceiling. That's something more that the state reviews and the fire department and myself. That's just strictly from a building standpoint. So what we're doing today is just the conditional use from the zoning standpoint.
Thanks.
Steve?
Is that building larger than the one they're in now?
Yes, yes, it is. And I think that they think that the location's a little bit, nicer, and they can see it from the freeway a little bit better also, so. But it is quite a bit bigger. I don't,
Mark, do you know if it was double?
yeah, it's like twice the size.
Twice, okay.
Yeah. So.
Any other questions? Anything else that you want to share with us?
I mean, he kind of wrote a narrative out. I don't know if you guys had the chance to look at it, but I mean, it's basically, it's awesome that we're getting a building that's having somebody come in it, but they're also moving from another place in Delavan, so we'll probably be losing one too. But I think it's going to be great for Slumberland, and I know that the owner's pretty excited about it. And I think they're going to be able to obviously have some more inventory and just kind of dress the place up a little bit more than what they currently have.
Good. Thank you. I don't know if we have any other citizens who this time want to speak on this issue or not. I don't know if we have anyone else other than Mr. Kunai on Zoom.
No questions for me.
Okay, thanks, Corey. With that, then I would go ahead and close the public hearing and move on to item number 4.2. Consider a conditional use permit again at 1450 East Geneva Street, located in the Business Regional BR zoning district with a wellhead protection overlay for an indoor sales or service land use to allow for the sales of furniture. Applicant Bravo Builders / Robert Edwards for some furniture. I entertain a motion.
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to make a motion to approve the conditional use findings listed below under conditional use findings and issuance of a conditional use permit for applicant Bravo Builders / Robert Edwards for Slumberland Furniture for the property located at 1450 East Geneva Street in the Business Regional BR zoning district, subject to recommended conditions of approval listed below under recommended conditions of approval, indoor commercial entertainment land use, subject to conditions of approval listed below under conditions of approval, including any additions as may be identified by the Planning Commission and Common Council.
There is a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, there's a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Seeing and hearing none, all those in favor of the motion signify by stating aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion passes. Moving on to item number 5 is public hearing regarding and reviewing the possible recommendation for Jason and Amanda Jones for Countryside Classics. 5.1 is a public hearing on a request to consider a conditional use permit at 1046 Ann Street, located in the Manufacturing Light ML zoning district with an in-vehicle sales and services land use to allow for full automotive restoration services of paint and body work. At this time, I'd go ahead and open the public hearing.
Yeah, Mr. Mayor. So like we said, at 1046 Ann Street, Jason and Amanda are looking at having an in-vehicle sales and service, which requires the conditional use. And Jason and Amanda are in the audience today. So if you guys have any questions, I'm going to refer to them to answer them, unless it's a staff question. Okay.
Hi there.
Hi.
Do you have any questions about business? And
Are you planning on doing any dyno testing at this location?
No, our shop in Elkhorn already has our dyno at it.
And you don't have any future plans?
No, this is strictly body work going on at the shop.
Concern is it's a residential area.
Yep. Understand that.
I know those things do generate some noise.
They do.
We did respect where we are too. There's assisted living, like a block away from us, so we shut down pretty early.
No, there will not be.
Any other questions?
Seem just strictly body shop work.
Yeah, we do restoration, everything, old cars, nothing new, not collision work.
So older vehicles.
Yeah.
Correct.
Restore, okay.
Yep.
Trying to find, when I was reviewing this earlier prior to the meeting, I saw a picture, and oh, yeah, it's just a little freaked out. So, are there any plans for, I mean, I'm assuming that's your current location in Elkhorn, is it, there was a picture there, was that kind of a rendering, or do you have any plans for doing any facade work or work to the building at all, or?
We were gonna clean up the outside, obviously, but it's a little run down. The building we're now, we lease half of it, and why it looks like that is because the person who owns it builds that stuff. So,
Okay,
Yeah, so we basically plan to,
I was like, wow, that looks a lot,
It's
I'm like, is that what they're doing?
yeah,
yeah.
So,
I wish.
Yeah, no. Obviously, we look to make some upgrades and improvements, especially on the outside, but there won't be a lot of customers that are going there.
Yeah.
It's mostly if they were to be looking at their projects or any updates, but most of the customer workload and base will still be outside of our Elkhorn facility.
Great, that was the only question I had, so. Any other questions? All right, thank you.
All right, thank you very much.
I don't believe we have any other citizens here in attendance that wish to speak on this issue. So with that, I would close the public hearing and move on to item number 5.2, which is consider a conditional use permit at 1046 Ames Street located in the manufacturing light ML zone district with a wellhead protection overlay for an in-vehicle sales and services land use to allow for full automotive restoration services of paint and body work applicant again, Jason Jones for Countryside Classics. Entertain a motion.
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to make a motion to approve the following conditional use findings listed under recommended conditional use findings and the conditional use request for a limited conditional use permit for an in-vehicle sales or service land use for the property at 1046 Ann Street, located in the manufacturing light ML zoning district within the wellhead protection overlay area. Applicant Jason and Amanda Jones for Countryside Classics, subject to the conditions of approval listed below under recommended conditions of approval, including any additions as may be identified by the Planning Commission or Common Council.
Thank you. There's a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
All right, there's a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Seeing and hearing none. All those in favor of the motion signify by stating aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion passes. Moving on to item number 6 under business is 6.1 is consider a date for the January 2022 Planning Commission meeting. Little memo with some potential dates. I don't know. There's a strong consensus for one of those, either on Tuesday or Monday Tuesday the 4th or Monday, January 10th. Have any? Both? Yeah, I can make either date work as well.
Tuesday, probably.
Tuesday the
Monday.
4th. Okay. Then we'll go with Tuesday, January 4th. Would anyone like to make that official motion?
Sure. Mr. Mayor, I'd like to make a motion to set January Planning Commission meeting on 4th of January 2022 at 5 p.m.
All right. There's a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
There's a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All those in favor of the motion signify by stating aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion passes. Item number 7 then is update on the building and zoning related builders.
Yes, Mr. Mayor. So I'm just gonna let you guys know, I have gotten some information from the Chili's. It's not anything that's gonna require permitting from us, but they are gonna be redoing the front, redoing the exterior of their building just with some paint and putting new awnings on, just giving it a fresh look. And then also over at Culver's, I believe it came through this process, but they're getting ready to redo a bunch of their signs. We did have 14 homes this year. I believe that as of today, out of those 14, I think 11 of them have gotten their final occupancy. So most of those homes are getting ready to wrap up. And I have talked to a few builders, and it looks like we're going to probably get maybe 1 or 2 more homes before the end of the year. So that's what I got, unless you have a specific question on something you saw out there.
Any questions?
Any other new business coming in?
I'm not sure which ones I can talk about. You want to answer that one, Brian?
I'm trying to think about which ones are currently on the radar.
There's by Fleet Farm, I don't know if you can talk about that
I'm excited now.
one.
There's still like pending deal over there on some land and it's not wrapped up yet. So when that does and comes to you, we thought it'd be here this month, but they've had to push it off till January sometime, so.
There's some exciting things. We'll keep you on your toes.
What's the empty building over there across from Millennium that was bought?
The spec building with prop shack?
No, where Millennium's existing space is.
Oh,
No, which one?
Roadmaster.
Yeah, someone bought that, they're cleaning it out to get it ready for a new tenant, but they don't have a tenant yet, but they're just getting it ready to have it prepared. So then hopefully they'll get occupied this year. We did go to the Millennium groundbreaking, they have started work and they're still on track to have their current building occupied, I think in August now, they pushed it back a month. But, yeah, that's, still don't have the exact name of who's coming in. Or if it's just not memorable or what. We asked them about that and they're like, I don't know if they feel comfortable telling us who it is. I saw it's somebody related to the automotive industry. To make parts for someone or do testing.
Engine fusion.
Yeah, somewhere like that.
Is that the building they were pouring the cement floor?
Well,
No,
That's
that's out in the industrial park.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a prop shack.
yeah, it's prop shacks.
Do we know when they may open up?
Prop shack?
Yeah,
I know that they're behind schedule.
yeah, I
so-
mean, they're behind schedule.
Yeah, I would bet, yeah, I would say like probably around March,
Okay.
as long as COVID.
Another-
Stopping products doesn't,
Another question that this committee commonly brings up or property is the old Perkins, so.
I think there'll be some action coming here to you in the next month or so, but we're still waiting to get some more details.
somebody's got an idea and they're pretty.
They just put in their cost recovery form like today, so they haven't filed the paperwork yet. They've got a few things in what they're wanting to do that they've got to work out with probably the property owners related to easements.
Just a question, when a company comes in as a probably temporary thing, like with the hail damage, do they have to come before us to get permission to reopen a building for that? Or they just rent it for a short time and leave?
So usually that would come through a special use permit, which would just be through the building and zoning department.
Okay.
Any other questions? Seeing and hearing none, then I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
All right. Second, motion and second, all in favor of adjournment? signify by stating aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. We're adjourned. Thanks, everyone.